let's talk about how to know what information I need to know if I'm going into the backcountry. So, first things first, I need to figure out how to get to the right website and know what type of backcountry land and public use land that I'm using. Okay, so I start by Googling the trail, and if I don't know that, then I go to the Sierra National Forest website. And this is going to give me a lot of the beginning information that I need. It's going to talk about passes and permits here. It's going to talk about the recreation and that's required. Okay, it's going to talk here about fire restrictions. No, you can't have a fire just whenever you want. And if you need, you click this link, and if you go on to that, it's going to talk about how you get your fire permit in order to have, because that's a big fine. Going from there, lots of good details about campfires. Look at this, $10,000 fine, $5,000 fine. Okay, so making sure that you don't have a fire if you're not allowed, or if you have a fire, that you have a fire permit. Okay, but here's the really important information for first-time backpackers: is this contact information here. If you have any questions, and in fact, I would recommend getting into the habit of this until you've been in some of these places more often, call the ranger station for the area that you're going to be in. If you don't know, call Sierra National Forest headquarters and have them transfer you after you tell them um, your trail. They can transfer you to the proper ranger station. If you need a permit, this is where you're going to pick up that permit anyways, okay? And so this is how you get all sorts of information. Say, though, that you notice when you're Googling your trailhead that your trail is actually going to be in a wilderness setting. What do? You go to the wilderness setting specific website. So let me go ahead and share that really quick here. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so for example, say Mount Whitney is a major hike that people do in John Muir Wilderness. John Muir Wilderness falls under Inyo National Forest. Okay, so I had to go to the National Forest first, and then I selected John Wilderness as my area. Wilderness has its own set of regulations. For example, you need a different permit to be able to fish. You can't use bikes or anything with wheels, and so you have to be aware of all of this. If you have any questions about those things, you'll notice the links here, okay? But more specifically, if you have any questions, and like I said, I recommend, this is where you're going to call to get that information. Permit information, anything that you need to know. So I read this and I say, okay, if I'm going to spend the night in the John Muir Wilderness, I need an overnight permit. So I'm going to call this number here to figure out how I go about getting that, where I pick it up, if it's available, or if it's lottery, or if I can reserve it, whatever the case may be. If I'm going into the Mount Whitney zone at all, I need a day use permit. Okay, so I need to figure out how to do that, right? How do I get that information? I call this number here. Then it talks about permits in advance versus first come, first serve. So it looks like you can have either of that. Boom. So I know, okay, how do I reserve in advance? Click more here, get on recreation.gov, and go from there. Okay, here's the information center. This is how I get it. If I know I'm in John Muir Wilderness, these are all the hikes. I could select any of these. If I selected any of these, it would give me details on those hikes. Okay, goes into other hiking and horse riding in wilderness situations. So all the information I need is here, but I double check everything with this contact information. You'll notice that I showed you that weather checking website, right? And then this has a weather forecast. Now this is out of Bishop. So this gives me some of the information, but not all. You would still be better off searching it yourself.